Hi, good morning. It's Friday, August 14th again. I think that's the correct date. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I use the pendulum to select which deck to start with and when to begin recording. We're just still playing with the pendulum. I love it so much. We're actually also, I say we, I don't know why, maybe you're feeling it too. Breath has been a big deal lately. We talked about it this morning a little bit in the spontaneity message that came through. So there's some themes that have come to mind right before getting into this reading, but we'll just see what comes up. Let's just get to it. So what energies, what messages are for us today? This is the Zodiac Tarot. I love these cards. I love all of them in different ways. All right. So slightly different angle here. We'll see if you can see some of the cards. Okay. Okay. So we have Judgment right here at the heart. And we have the Six of Cups in the challenge position. We have the Seven of Swords in this near recent past energy. We have the Six of Swords in our conscious motivations, conscious drivers and thoughts. In the near future, we have the King of Pentacles. Well, all of this, this feels very good to see in these positions. And in the what we don't see or our subconscious or hidden things, something that's hidden from us is the Six of Wands. And that has to do with like our feelings about and our perceptions about what it means to be successful. So it sounds like a little bit of this energy is still with us. In our heart's desires, we have the Nine of Swords. So it feels like we deeply desire to release any remaining doubts or worries. We'll get into that more for sure. The Page of Swords is in the surrounding energy. This is like a joyful, youthful enthusiasm for learning and what we've learned about ourselves on our path. That's like the energy supporting us, releasing the remaining doubt. It's like, what's the opposite? If you want to think about spectrums, I think about doubt and curiosity, two ends. So the curiosity is pulling us away from doubt. We have the Eight of Wands in the hopes and fears. There's like potentially, this hope that we can, look at the energies of the universe and we're harnessing them. They're kind of at our back. They're also at our front, pulling us forward. It's our desire to flow with them, to be pushed, guided by them, and to be drawn forward by them, basically to be able to harness them as they're coming through. We're in a very powerful moment right now, it feels like. So it's like, and this is one of the themes I was thinking about this morning, is like, how are we harnessing this time? How are we making the most of it? The fear would be the opposite of that it might pass us by or that we won't make the most of it. There's something there though. There's like a distortion energy keeps coming through. Like, is that a false belief that we're not doing enough? Because we know a lot about this process being more of a non-doing. Don't try so hard. Don't get in the way of the energies. Okay, we'll see if that comes back through. And in the future outcome, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Again, there's this energy of you're nurturing something to fruition. You know what this feels like with all of, let's get the overall energy. We have the Hierophant. Oh my gosh, the Hierophant always coming through in that overall energy. Here, let's put this here. So just a little thought here in case it comes up in the clarifications. Hot flash is happening too. Woo! Okay, this was the other deck that it wanted to use. So with all the big stuff lately, this feels, and when the energy this morning in that little message I just posted, if you haven't seen it, it's the one right before this one, is there's something like a let's just settle in today. Let's not do any more heavy lifting today. So what this energy feels like is like the past has been that mind energy, all that distortion energy that we've moved through. We still have a little bit of like the desire to fully move out of it. And that feels like the restful, like joyful, spontaneous place we're in today. Like we're just going to set all that aside. We know we did a bunch of work. Let's honor the work. Let's just integrate today, but not with effort. Let's just be joyful, be in our body. And so there's a subtleness right now, sort of like a quiet, but a joyful, playful, curious quiet, not the kind where you cocoon and tune everybody out and everything. This is like, no, you're like moving into a full engagement in the now, because we've done a piece of work and we're letting it settle. And then we know where we're going. This is like the rest before the momentum that takes us for like where we're going, into stepping into more of that forward motion. It feels like, I think I've said enough. There's just like, we know where we're going. So it feels like, remember how this week was about really, what do you deeply desire? Gosh, this hot flash is intense. What do you deeply desire? It feels like you have just really put a lot of thought into that. You're doing that maybe today. You're awakening to that desire. You're feeling it. You're feeling into like what that feels like today, right now, to be in that space. And when you really like take that time today, tomorrow, whatever, however many days, that's the momentum that carries you forward. You don't have to put any more effort into the release part of this, the purge. Okay, the Hierophant. Let's clarify the overall energy of the Hierophant. I love having a major arcana in the overall energy. This is still very big, but there's a subtleness. Okay, we have the Knight of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Three of Cups. There's something with the Hierophant. This was another theme I was thinking about, is like, not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. I don't like that phrase. I got to think of something different. There's like, because the Hierophant's about teaching, learning, mentoring, coaching, beliefs. Like it can be about channeling too, about the wisdom coming through, like, and also the wisdom of lived experience. So, and that you're sharing and that you're tapping into. So with these three cards, with this Knight of Wands being that kind of spontaneous, like, ooh, shiny thing, or ooh, reactivity energy, then maturing that into the King of Wands, which is like, okay, we're learning how to harness that in a more useful way. And we've grown that confidence, and that, okay, that immature part of us has grown into the mature way we manage our energy, and manage that, like, it's like frustration energy too that has settled into the Three of Cups, which is harmonizing that. So with the Hierophant, there's this deep maturity, growth, learning, like the student becomes the teacher energy. Yeah, that's what it's about, because Three of Cups is also about moving into that connection with other people. There's something maybe about, again, this keeps coming through, you moving from the things that have kept you separate, moving into connection with other people, and you being out in front, you being a leader. But it's a co-creator leadership. That's still coming through, because the Hierophant, it's like we're always the both and. We're always learning, and then we're always sharing. It's like we're here to wake each other up. So that takes us into the Judgment card right here in the heart of the spread, which is the card of awakening, challenged by the Six of Cups, which is the card of like inner healing. So there's something like the inner healing part of this is like it's like that tenderness, the vulnerability part of this. It's asking us to really feel into that, to be able to fully awaken. It's like there's that imagery somebody said is like, the way a tree grows, if you could see the roots, like it can only grow as big in the visible with as deep as it went in the invisible, like in under the ground. I'm getting all the chills with that. So this is like really honoring the depth of the work you've been doing, because if something doesn't feel like as expansive as you hope it to be, feel into like, how deep have I gone into what was hidden within me? Is there still something else? Because usually if there's that frustration word was important for this. The frustration of like something isn't as clear or big or as expansive as I hope. Doesn't mean it won't get there, but in this moment, do you feel that? Then it's like, okay, that should point us into the roots. How deep are the roots into the healing process, into the release, that inner exploration process? Okay, we haven't even clarified, but that's what was coming through. So let's clarify the Judgment card. We have the Knight of Cups. There's a lot of action energy here. Knight of Cups is that heart opening into that. Oh, and maybe you've had a heart opening, like a Kundalini kind of experience with the heart. That could very well be, because the Five of Cups is here, which 5 is like this transition energy from lack, closed offness, loss, into I have more here than I ever thought. So when we think of the Son of Cups or the Knight of Cups, it's just labeled Sun, that heart opening is like you are turning, because the 5s are like transitory energy, shift in perspective energy. So there is a heart opening with this Judgment card, and it could be literally you felt your heart center like opening. And then we have the Queen of Wands. This is the card of, there's a lot of alchemy in this card. So when I think about, like, that's like, what have you, like in the heart opening, what has alchemized, like what has allowed that to happen? There's like hidden, like with the Hierophant, with the belief structures, there's something about your belief structures have been changing and alchemizing all of the old, like that heart opening energy into how big you're awakening. Let's clarify the Six of Cups before we go any further, because that's in the challenge area. So there's the Two of Cups. I should show you these. Two of Cups. The Daughter of Swords, which is the Page of Swords again. We have the Page of Swords in the surrounding energy. So the surrounding energy seems to be tied to the challenge area of the awakening of this after the storm, the hard stuff. It's like what still might be alchemizing. So something about, there's like this curiosity about what you've been through. And then there's the Knight of Pentacles. This is like slow and steady. Spend time with this. Take action in this space. The Knight of Pentacles is like, we're in no hurry here. I love that. This is confirmation of the energy of today. It just keeps deepening. That today is a day of joyful rest, enjoyment. Really, that Six of Cups is that tender energy we like to spend with ourselves. And it's like, go deep into that to allow the rest to blossom, because you've alchemized so much of this heart opening. I'm not going to go back and all that past stuff. You know what you've been working on. It's different for each of us, but it's definitely led to this, like, no more focus on the lack, the loss, woe is me, or what went wrong in life. This is like, I've learned a lot from that. I'm going to spend time with that tender part of myself that just wants to be, who's always been joyful, who's always been the childlike, beautiful soul. And this is like the Knight of Pentacles, Page of Swords, Two of Cups, this love connection, soul connection. Feel into the soul connection with yourself. Like, that's going to further the awakening, further the ability to receive what's coming, because there's a lot coming in. Wowza. Okay, let's spend just a moment in the past. Let's clarify the Seven of Swords, that distortion, that mind distortion energy, illusions, delusions. Seven of Swords. We have Judgment. Okay, that's the release, the awakening, the coming out of darkness. That's confirmation there. The Eight of Pentacles means you did a lot of work. This is just confirmation that what we've been through is farther in the rearview mirror. It might only be days, right? Like you've been doing a lot lately. Oh my God. Four of Cups. There's this, yep, I was in a state of, there was a distortion around, I'm not, this unworthiness, or I'm like the not enoughness energy. Whether you always felt like you could never have enough, you could never be enough, you weren't worthy for more than enough. Like, think about those words, enough and worthiness, because this is like you've done a lot of work around that. And that is the distortion energy. It was always a delusion. I don't want to say dissolution, but maybe that's because it's dissolving. That's through the awakening process, through the exploration, through when we talk about mind distortion, something in the past has allowed you to see it for what it was. We saw that come up in prior readings. Something allowed you to see things for what they were. And that's a blessing. Sometimes they come out of the blue. We don't know what brings those things about, like, because we always want to see clearly. Please help me see clearly. Who knows what that thing is? Sometimes it just feels like magical. So it's like, whatever brought that about, honor it. Say it, because the Eight of Pentacles is here to say you actually brought that into your energy. You brought it toward you, that clarity. You did some pieces of work. So honor that. You cleared your own mind distortion. And we keep saying this. It almost feels like you had that enough is enough. This energy has been growing the last year. And what's funny is I started talking about it, and then I heard other people talking about it. It's probably because my phone's listening. But just kidding. But it's this, I'm sick of my own shit energy, right? I'm done repeating these patterns. I'm done believing these old thoughts. I don't think they're true anyway. And if I once felt they're true, I'm done. I'm done. Okay, let's go to the Six of Swords in the conscious drivers, like what's on top of mind. The Six of Swords is moving from the choppy waters to the calm waters, as we say, but it's the healing journey. We're moving forward. And then the conscious thoughts, it's like, yeah, I'm thinking about that. I want to move on. Done. Okay, we have the Ace of Wands. This is you going for it. This is like, there's actually a motivation and a like physical action toward it. So you're doing something. There's the Two of Swords. That's that card of like tuning things out to tap into intuition. And the Eight of Wands. So don't get distracted. This is saying on this journey, these are your conscious drivers. That means what this is warning against is, in order to take, because we have the hopes and fears up here with that Eight of Wands, the Eight of Wands here in the conscious thoughts, they're connected. The conscious drivers are the way you manifest your world. Your thoughts become things energy. That's what we keep talking about. Be very, very conscious of what thoughts you allow to stick around, because thoughts are going to come and go, right? They just go if we let them. Be very conscious of the ones you spend time on. And you know it. You'll know that this happened today, and it was a very big, like, remember this. So all this morning, there were nuggets coming in, and it feels like they're all tied to this reading. And so there's one that said, a thought came in, one of those distortion thoughts. And I was like, I already knew that it wasn't something I was working on. It's something I had already been through. So I knew it wasn't for me. So it's for whoever, if this resonates with you. And it circled. And I was the one following it, which means like, I'm not just letting it go. I'm like it was trying to go, and I kept saying, no, let's spend time together. And then, so like I'm getting all the chills. That's a feeling of what's happening to be aware of. So when that happens, where you're like, oh yeah. And then what happens is other things in your surroundings start to get muted. So like you might be like the birds outside, or the kids in the background, or the partners, or something you're watching on a device, whatever. All that gets muted because now you're in the swirl of, oh, let's spend time together with this old distortion thought, like the thing that doesn't make me feel good, or the worry, or the anxiety, or like some old thing, the thing you've been sick of your own shit about, but you still are like, ooh. This is saying, beware of when things outside of the here and now, the present moment, get muted. That's what's coming through. It's like, whoa, like snap out of that kind of energy. Let it keep going, because they're just meant to fly on by. We've been through this. We don't have to harp on it. Harp? I don't like that word, but in that context, we don't have to ruminate on it. It's like, we know that thoughts are just meant to go. We're not supposed to suppress thoughts or block them, because that's resistance energy. I feel like we've let a lot of resistance energy go, and now this is about mind distortion. This is what's coming through with all this wand energy. See if this feels true for you. We have worked a lot on what we've been resisting. We've worked a lot on that. Like, we feel the resistance when it comes in, like triggers, right? We know what we've been triggered about. And that's some of the sick of my own shit energy. Is like, I'm done being triggered by that. So we've done a lot of work on that. What's left are these like thought form patterns, energies, distortions, things that are like, if you think of yourself as a channel or a filter for your version of reality, you come with your own set of traits, your filters. We all have them. And it's like, what's part of your filtering system that is actually distorting what is able to pass through, in or out, that either is how you perceive your reality or how you create your reality. Okay, so is it really dusty? Is it murky? Is it time to change the filter and get a cleaner one? Now, that's still a filter, right? But it's just a really clean one now. So what's in your filter? Like lumps of cat fur? That's probably in mine. Like little dust bunnies. And it's like, maybe it's time to like call the repair person. Say like, or go buy some new filters. You know, whatever that is, to just recognize that we are filtering systems. Okay, I forget where that was going, but it seemed important. Yeah, let's keep going, because the Eight of Wands is here to say, like, tune out all that, clear your filter, because that's going to be the way you keep moving on that journey of the Six of Swords into that future calm waters energy, and be able to harness the energies, be able to flow with them, instead of like be like swirling around in the stuff that you're getting rid of. Okay, so let's go to the future energy of the King of Pentacles, which is like the full abundance energy. Like, you've gone from this Knight of Pentacles, spending time with the Six of Cups, like feeling the tender, joyful, youthful, healed, like inner child self today. And then by taking that time, that also combined with getting rid of the remaining remnants of the distortion, don't swirl, leads to the King of Pentacles, which is you're heading into that future, like future state energy where you've always wanted to go. We have the Seven of Wands. Ooh, the Five of Swords. Yep. And the Ten of Cups. Both the conscious thoughts leading into the future energy, there's like, wait a minute, be aware of what's going on. It's not like tuning it out, but it's being conscious to like detach. Like, what's the word? Detach, yeah. Because by attaching, it keeps you swirling. So it's like a detach energy and let it go. Those thought patterns, just like, and it feels so hard. It feels like there's something happening here in the physical that's like, maybe there's a physical act or like thing you can do that helps, like snap your fingers. I've been like like the dragon's breath, blowing it out there. And that came through today too. Okay. This morning, that there's going to be something physical for you as a little to snap out of it, because thought, like to use more thought to snap out of it, like is not helpful right now, where you're like, things like when you say, oh, you, like I've done this, like, oh, you ding dong, stop thinking that, like that energy. That's just an example. More thought energy doesn't stop it. It's going to be a physical action to clear the mind space. For me, mine's attached to breath. That's coming through for a lot of people too. And then maybe snapping fingers, something. It's got to be physical. See what it is for you. Anyway, King of Pentacles. When we move away from this, there's something here that says guard against doubt. 7 of Wands, 5 of Swords. Guard against doubt from re-entering. Once you've like let it go, then you kind of put up the wall. Like in the past, it's like a guarding energy from allowing it to circle back in. There's that kind of thing, because once you fully release it, it might try to come knocking at the back door and you're like, nah, I'm good. Because the 10 of Cups here is like, no, there's a huge, like that heart opening is now spilling into the complete emotional fulfillment. You have the King of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups in your future energy. Hello, like end game vibes, full abundance vibes. That's like the most dramatic way to put it. But in your daily life, if you feel like I'm a practical person working on a thing, I just want to be content in this lifetime, that's what that means too. It may not mean like you're a billionaire or something. Could be. But it does mean like the biggest fulfillment of the path you're on. So that's awesome. But in the heart's desires, there's a 9 of Swords. There's something about deeply desiring to release those doubts. So it feels like we've already covered it with what's in the conscious thoughts that leads into the future state. It feels like you are tackling that. There's just a real desire in you right now, today. Okay, we have the 5 of Pentacles. That's what this is about. There's that not enoughness coming through. There's the 4 of Swords. Really tap into your intuition about that, to really put it to rest. Rest is important. And the Sun, there's optimism. That was coming through too. Oh my God. All of this, it came through first thing this morning. So when you're moving out of that not enoughness, that lack mindset, which means like, I'm not able to have what I want in this life. You know, it may not come in those exact words. This can be very subtle, subversive energy, because we have that 7 of Swords in the back. Those, it's like the thoughts that steal things from us. The 7 of Swords is about thought theft. So it's like, I almost want to talk a little quieter. It's like the subtle whispers that we can't even hear, that just feel like they're part of us, that says like, some deep thing just got infused way too deep, too hidden, but felt like it's a part of just the things my thoughts are built on top of. And that's going away. We already know that. That's in the rearview mirror. And it's like, take time to feel the optimism, the hopefulness that's not part of your path anymore. Okay. This feels very tender. This in the heart's desires, because you're tapping into who you already know you are. So the 6 of Cups, the 4 of Swords here with the heart's desires. This is like, who do you feel like you are at your core? You have the Page of Swords twice. This is your energy of, I'm just like joyful to be alive kind of energy. I know that not enoughness feeling, or whatever that is for you, is not the real me. This feels like you know that this is you stepping into the most joyful, hopeful, optimistic version of yourself. So that take today to do that. And that's the feeling with this 6 of Cups, Page of Swords, 2 of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, you are sitting in, you're going very slowly. Like, it's almost like you're just, that's what the message was this morning. Feel into the joy, the spontaneity today. Do something unexpected. Yeah, that's coming through. So the Page of Swords in the surrounding energy. We have the Queen of Cups. This is complete emotional, mature, nurturing of self-care, self-love energy on that page. And then you have the Hanged Man. You're going to hang out in this a while. This is all about take a pause in this energy. And then we have the Four of Wands. This is like your happiness. This is also the card of like happy occasion, celebration. Some people say marriage. This isn't a marriage reading, but feel into that as you want. This is, you're going to hang out in this self-love. I love how curious I am. I love the path I'm on. I love everything about this life journey kind of vibes. Hang out in that today, or a lot of days. Anchor it in for the long run, because the Four of Wands is about the long run, like what you are bringing in, what you are committing to. So this is like commit to self-love and curiosity of yourself. Eight of Wands. This is that hopes and fears energy about harnessing what the universe has for us. The Hermit, again, hang out in this. You have this Seven of Swords. This is confirmation of the past energy. This is about the fears that the distortion energy is going to come back around and make it so that you can't take full advantage and leap on that energy and hold on. I bet the Chariot comes out next. Holy shit. I said the word shit a lot in this reading. Holy freaking, you're taking the reins, you're off and running. The hope is that you're harnessing the full power of this energy right now. Take that. We just got a major, oh my God, I love this. Okay, Queen of Pentacles. That's our future state, where we're going. There's the Knight of Swords. This is saying that when you've done all this, if you've truly felt into this, then the Knight of Swords is that equally fast energy like the Eight of Wands. Those are the fastest with the Chariot. You've got fast forward momentum with you at the helm. And by the way, the Queen of Pentacles is that nurturing something for the long run. This means like you've put in the grounded step. You're taking steps. This isn't flighty energy anymore. Even though we've got a lot of fast momentum, you're doing it from a place of grounded, I'm showing up every day. It's commitment energy. Let's just say that. You're committed. No more shiny things, no more distortions pulling you off course. All this energy is like swift now because it's co-creation. You've gotten, okay, here's who I am. Here's what I want. Here's what I don't want. And then the universe is like, okay, let's go. Okay, then we have the Six of Pentacles. This is the card of like give and receive, reciprocity, generosity. When you're on that path toward Queen of Pentacles energy, this is like the way you flow along that path. This isn't rigid. This is like being able to adapt along the way, especially when things are going fast. And then you've got strength. Not only did you build strength along the way that fueled this is the both and. And by walking that path, and there's something about in the future energy, as you learn to flow with circumstances, what allowed you to be able to do that is what you've went through before. Okay, so you've learned how to adapt, how your energy meets the energies around you in order to adapt, to harness for the best outcome. And that builds strength. Not only does it take strength, it builds more strength along the way, more inner confidence, more inner knowing, more belief in self. Okay, that's what we have for today. I think it's time to pull it. I want oracle message. Hold on. Okay, the one that leapt out to me was map, enchanted map. And I wonder if it's because it's like, oh man, where are we going? We know what map we're on now, but it's like, where are we going on this map? We're on the map of having done the hard work, the healing, the getting into our seat of power. Okay, let's pull one. These are kind of like, all of them want to come out. Ride the wave. Ride the wave. Oh my God. Talk about double Eight of Wands, Knight of Swords, Chariot. We're riding. That's the vibe of this. A reminder. That's this. Look at you. You're like in the middle of that wave of energy from the past going forward. And you're like out in front and you're being pulled by it. Let's see what that says though. 14. I'll try not to interrupt the message. Ride the wave. Right now, success is easy and effortless. What's funny is the number, I told you I wasn't going to interrupt. The number is 14 and today is the 14th. Okay. You can be assured that you're entering a time when you can ride the wave of abundance. The tide has turned and you can put your surfing skills to the test. Everything that you know, all your talents, coupled with your hopes and dreams, will carry you forward. People and circumstances have come out of the ocean of potential and possibility to take shape in a wave of spectacular activity. Know that you're defiantly, yeah, that too. Know that you're definitely on the right path. In the reverse, so things to be aware of, you might be mistaking a rogue wave for a fun ride. You can only coast for so long before you hit the shoreline with a smack. The tide is ebbing, and your activities are now preparing you for when that wonderful wave comes in for you to ride. You're meant to learn how to be a strong swimmer now. Don't worry, preparation ensures a successful result. However, you must wait patiently for the right moment to come. Now is the time for conscious preparation and skill building. Well, that's in the reverse. So we had the Eight of Pentacles here in the past energy. So that time of preparation and that reversed energy of this card is in your past. So you can read the upright and just stop there. That's confirmation of that. So anyway, I think this is also confirming that everything around you, like it said, the circumstances and people, pay attention to the people around you, because we have that Three of Cups energy for the overall with the Hierophant, which is like exchange of information between people. So don't, with maturing from the Knight of Wands to the King of Wands, with that Three of Cups, Hierophant we just talked about, there's a maturing that says, when you're in the company of others, when you're trying to tune in and take advantage of opportunities, ride that wave, pay attention to the people around you and what they're saying to you. It's like something says, clue into like why they're showing up, what are their intentions, what can happen between the three of you for everyone's benefit. Spend time in it. Don't rush through it. There's something that can be harnessed that you all care about. Yeah, is there anything else? It feels like people sitting down around a table intentionally. I don't know if it's so much just like a regular occurrence. It's almost like you guys put something on a calendar. And it's at least a few people or more than two probably. Could be two, but probably it feels bigger. Or maybe it's a call to bring people together. And like you're going to be attuned to what is the common. It's not the common things so much you care about. It's going to be like, you already know that. It's like you already know the common thing you care about, because that's what brought you together to put something on the calendar. And this is about, now you're the one tapping into and they are too, but you're the one tapping into how can we harness each person's gifts and what they're actually the best at. Everyone seems to be good at a lot of things, right? Because you have a lot of like, we can all do a lot of things, but this is about harnessing the way each person best expresses the best thing. Best is such a weird word, but I think you know what I mean. So you're going to be very attuned to that so that there's no more. We talked about this whole idea where energy gets diluted with too many doors open. And so if a lot of people are coming together trying to do a lot of things, it kind of gets diluted or messy or too many cooks in the kitchen kind of energy. So this meeting, this gathering seems to be about maybe a sharing, because the Six of Pentacles is here in Hierophant. There's definitely a sharing energy of everyone getting to voice what fires you up? What's the most alive in you right now? And how do we harness that for the collective vision? Okay, that's all for now. Thank you for being here. And yeah, let me know if you have any thoughts on this. And we can go deeper. I feel like I'm just stopping this, but I feel like this is something that will continue to unfold because it has gotten to this point. But this is saying pause in today's energy. Feel into this. There's so much. We're going to end with this. This is in your heart's desire. This is who you are. You are both of these. This is Leo energy. Both of these are Leo. Let's just stay with that. Bye.